Justice League has faced countless weird enemies and monsters, but nothing beats the convoluting crossover where our protectors faced off against Godzilla and Kong. This comic series blessed the fans with moments like Superman vs Godzilla, Kraken vs Godzilla, and King Kong using a power ring. But first, let's take a good overview of the series written by Brian Buccellato and illustrated by Christian Deuce. The first issue of the comic starts with Clark and Lois having a dinner on top of the Daily Planet roof in Metropolis. The two are reminiscing about how they first met and how far the relationship has come. After a while, Clark, or Superman, gets down on one knee as he proposes to Lois. However, before she can answer, the whole city starts shaking as if the Metropolis is having an earthquake. But we see it's not an earthquake, in fact it's much worse. It's Godzilla. The kaiju is rising from the sea at the coast, ready to run rampant. The scene shifts and we go back 12 hours in a day where Green Lantern and the Flash were amazed at the pace at which Superman is saving lives around the world. Here, we learn that this pace is unusual for Clark, as if he's trying to be everywhere at the same time. Even Green Lantern wonders why Superman doesn't simply function at this pace at all times, but Flash makes it clear that he would get burnt out extremely quickly. All of this is a part of his plan as he's planning to marry Lois and take a vacation for the first time in his life. As the strongest hero, he feels bad for leaving the people alone for even a little while, so he's trying to compensate for it. Anyway, the city is attacked by a gorilla-like figure and the Justice League jumps in to save the day. By the time Flash even reaches the monster, Superman has already defeated Titano. This is where he reveals his future plans to Flash and the others, who congratulate him. Although Green Lantern is a bit salty, he's still happy for Superman overall. It is then revealed that the Legion of Doom has been watching everything from the sidelines. Their current roster includes Grodd, Captain Cold, Cheetah, Black Manta, and more. They're tired of having to face the Justice League, especially because they have all the resources and personnel to get rid of the heroes. All they need is a good plan. Toyman suggests that the cause of their loss is the group's clashing personalities and goals. While others shrug it off, there is some truth to this. After all, fighting a group like the Justice League is an extremely risky matter, and people cannot perform the best until they know that they won't be betrayed. Furthermore, nobody is ready to sacrifice themselves because all that matters to them is that they get to enjoy the fruit to themselves. Still, it seems like Lex Luthor has found a way to get rid of the Justice League despite its shortcomings. For the plan, the group travels all the way to Superman's Fortress of Solitude. Superman's Fortress of Solitude is his personal headquarters and sanctuary, typically located in a remote, isolated area such as the Arctic. While the place is generally for Clark to research, reflect, and find peace, it also features advanced Kryptonian technology, including communication devices, defense systems, and scientific labs, often housed within a crystalline structure reflecting Kryptonian architecture and more. Since the place is extremely well hidden, there's only one robot, Helix, protecting it. After entering the fortress, Lux states that they're here for only two items, the Mother Box and Orion's sled. For those unaware, Mother Box in DC Comics is a powerful, sentient supercomputer created by the New Gods. It provides advanced technology and abilities such as teleportation, healing, energy manipulation, and communication, often aiding superheroes like the Justice League in their missions. Orion's sled, also known as the Astro Force sled, is a flying vehicle used by the Orion of the New Gods in DC Comics. Powered by the Astro Force, it enables high-speed travel and combat capability. While they could loot everything right now, Lex plans on limiting the greed for now and focusing on their main objective, because nobody can stop them when the League is gone anyways. Still, they have to be careful as every device is wired with ultrasonic alarms. As they were saying this, Toyman stupidly picked out a red gem from the storage, triggering the alarm. As the Legion of Doom were trying to make their plan work, Clark was talking to Batman in his apartment as the latter had to come to congratulate him. All was going well until Toyman triggered the alarm. Unfortunately for the villains, the Justice League had reached the location by the time Superman even left. This leads to an all-out brawl between the two sides. Lex is trying to configure the Mother Box in order to send the Justice League in the right dimensions as everybody else fights. As the fight continues, Toyman creates another catastrophe as one of his bombs triggers the device, creating a range of the portal. Flash saves Wonder Woman and Supergirl managed to escape too, meaning only the League of Villains were caught in the range and transported. They get transported to a universe with countless beasts sprawling around, including King Kong, Godzilla, and many more. A fight ensues over Toyman, with everybody blaming him for their loss. Holding the stone in his hands, Toyman grudgingly wishes for the strongest monsters to be teleported to their world, and for the demise of the Justice League and many members of the Legion. Turns out, the thing that Toyman stole was the Dream Stone, a powerful artifact that turns one's dreams into realities. Now, We go back to the start of the series as Clark's romantic proposal is interrupted by the one and only Godzilla. In his universe, Godzilla is a protector of nature. He maintains balance. Now, he has been thrown into a whole new world with extremely strong individuals. Here, the strongest is obviously Superman. Godzilla sees him as the biggest threat and wants to get rid of him as soon as possible to tip the scales towards nature's favor. Superman is unaware of this and tries to be more passive at the start. However, when Godzilla starts to charge up his beam, he lands a clean uppercut, closing the monster's jaw in an instant. The two then start battling as Superman tries to circle around and grab Godzilla's tail, but gets swatted by it instead. This sends him flying through multiple buildings in the city. He eventually crashes into one, where Flash checks up on him. There's no actual damage on Superman, and he jumps right back into the battle. Meanwhile, the Justice League heroes are on their way back to Metropolis, hoping to reach in time to help Superman. They suddenly get another update that a Chutulu plus spider-like creature has attacked the central city. Camastars has attacked Gotham, and a giant mammoth-like creature is heading towards Themyscira. Furthermore, numerous other monsters like dinosaurs are on the loose too. Meanwhile, Superman gets Hawkgirl as a source of backup, and the two try their best to use their speed and agility to confuse Godzilla and grab its attention away from the city. While Superman is able to maintain his distance, Godzilla's unexpectedly high speed manages to catch Hawkgirl, who gets knocked out. Shazam manages to save her and now joins Superman in the battle. This gives Godzilla enough time to charge his atomic breath. Superman is left with no choice but to counter it by using his heat vision. This epic showdown shows one of the coolest spreads in the whole comic as the two behemoths' powers collide into a stalemate. Shazam uses this as an opportunity to stand on Godzilla's head and summon lightning onto himself and hurt Godzilla, nearly staggering the monster. While this breaks the stalemate, he turns young, forcing Superman to save him. Clark even lectured Shazam that the move was too risky, and he was right. It doesn't take long for Godzilla to recover. He manages to launch another atomic breath at Superman. With Shazam in his hands and his back turned to the monster, Superman has barely enough time to shield the young hero. This is a major turning point in the story as Godzilla wins the first round with Superman left unconscious and gravely injured. In fact, the damage to Clark was so high that Supergirl could not even hear his heartbeat anymore. This meant that Superman was essentially dead and kept on life support by Batman and others. Later in the series, Clark manages to return into perfect health thanks to Batman. When Godzilla was trapped underwater by Aquaman by tying one of his legs, Superman also asserted his strength by essentially beating his thoughts into the monster. In the climax of the series, the two fight together against the League of Villains and various other monsters, even landing a badass combo of atomic breath and heat vision, which was followed by King Kong's new Green King form's final blow. The next main fight takes us to Skull Island, where Green Arrow and Supergirl are fending off against some monsters. Eventually, they run into Kong, who has his eyes locked with Supergirl. He tries to hold her in his hands as if to check what she's made of. This is because it is clear that she's not a normal human, and it is unlike most things that Kong has seen. However, Supergirl understandably sees this as a sign of threat and lands a punch on the gorilla. Enraged, he starts thumping his chest and growling loudly as if he's declaring a battle. In the fourth issue, we see that the two have maintained eye contact until night. They're literally just holding off fighting each other. Green Arrow is fed up with the two of them and wants them to either fight or just leave. However, Supergirl explained that Kong is territorial, unlike the ones that attacked Metropolis. She also says cow, which Kong seemed to kind of understand. Anyways, she comes to the conclusion that he is not a threat to them and leaves while asking Green Arrow to keep watching him while maintaining a distance. As soon as he leaves, Kong goes berserk and starts attacking. That's when Green Arrow realizes that the League of Assassins have been waiting for Supergirl to leave, and he was swiftly taking care of their whole battalion. However, Kong ends up attacking too, nearly breaking a cliff. Everybody flies away, including Green Arrow. He tries to hold on but eventually drops into the sea. Meanwhile, Batman and the Bat family are trying to fight off Camastars in Gotham. The fight starts with Batman and Batwoman launching missiles at the giant bat from their Batplanes, but the monster retaliates with its sonic weapon. Realizing that this might be harder than they had imagined, Batman suggests luring the creature away from the city to allow Nightwing and Batgirl to save the civilians. However, Red Hood ignores Cyborg and the Bat family's requests of not engaging in a fight and fires off a direct hit at Camazot's eye. The giant bat does not take this kindly and launches another sonic attack. This destroys a building which was going to fall off on multiple civilians along with Nightwing, Batgirl and Red Hood himself. Fortunately, Black Canary managed to save them all with her sonic scream at the last moment. Annoyed and not ready to argue, Batgirl simply knocks Red Hood out, something which everybody appreciates. Finally, the Bat family regroups and decides to use Camazot's attacks against itself. Batman takes the role of distracting the Beast, while Cyborg and Batwoman focus on building a sonic amplifier for Black Canary. They then finally install this onto Batwoman's Batplane. Batman tries to gain some offense too, attacking the creature on the injured eye with the missile. This doesn't work out well as Camazotz destroys Bruce's Batplane. He ejects and manages to safely parachute to the ground. Then, Cyborg pushes Batwoman's ship towards the monster and Black Canary screams into the amplifier, incapacitating and sending him falling to the ground. To finish the job, they wrap Camazotz in metal wires and sedate him with a heart rate dampening device. While the fans did not get to see the three characters truly duke it out against each other, we got a good taste of just how powerful all three of them are, and how cool it would be if they managed to work together. Let us know your thoughts on this series and click here to watch similar videos.